Three, two, one. Good morning and welcome to your bonus Friday edition of the Morning Jog. My name is Matt Cohan and I am joined by two thought-provoking chaps, Francis Ellis and Robbie Berger. Hello, friends.
Gentlemen, how are we this morning?
All right.
We're holding in there, dude.
All right.
All right. Could be better, could be worse. We're alive.
Yeah.
We're somewhat happy. But let's roll into our first story, fellas. This is a name I've never thought I'd say again. Central Park Karen. I won't say it again after this. Has been reunited with her dog after a video went viral of her ragdolling her Cocker Spaniel while calling the police on a black bird watcher who called her out for having the dog off the leash in Central Park. Abandoned Angels Cocker Spaniel Rescue Group confiscated Amy Cooper's dog on May 25th. Following the now infamous Memorial Day video that has been viewed more than 50 million times. 10 days after a dog was removed from custody, Abandoned Angels released a statement on Facebook saying it had found the animal to be in good health and the organization has now complied with the owner's request to return the dog. This dog, we got to pray for this dog, right, Robbie?
Yeah, you know what I think they should do? Whoever had him, it was at the veterinarian, or where was it? Where was it that had the dog?
This rescue group confiscated her. Because in the video, she was literally like stringing the thing up.
That's why I think if you've ever seen the movie Air Bud, at the end of the movie, the dog gets to decide to which side he wants to go and stay with. I think that's the way to do it, because to be quite frank with you, I'm not so sure that dog is happy to go home. It's hard to watch. If you look at her, how she had this dog by the leash, I think you split them up 50-50, somewhere on a lawn, even playing field, put the dog in the middle, and to be quite frank, we don't know which side that dog would choose. Let the dog choose. The dog deserves that right.
Robbie, when was the last time you watched Air Bud? You remember a specific
I was just
plot
thinking
points?
about that. It had to be some time, but every time I watch it, it was always a classic. I mean, I would watch Air Bud tonight.
Francis?
Yeah, two thoughts. Clearly, the dog isn't racist. Because while she's doing this stuff, the dog is really being like, no, I don't agree. I don't agree with that, right? And secondly, I've been trying to go viral for about 6 years. 50 million views. I mean, who knew that all it would take would be for me to call the police on a black bird watcher, and I'd be there overnight. But I don't know. It didn't really – I think people overblew the mistreatment of the dog. I didn't think that she was, like, choking it per se. I think she was just trying to hold it by the collar, and the dog was fussy. So it's not that I want anything good for this woman, but I also thought, like, taking her dog away, which was a rescue, seemed like insult to injury. Do you know what I mean?
It should be noted that she lost her job as the head of insurance investment solutions at Franklin Templeton and claimed that her entire life is being destroyed right now. She did issue what appeared to be a sincere apology, so credit to Karen for that.
The dog kind of symbolizes the Mercedes in the bit yesterday about the girl with the picture. It just kind of added to something that was already so bad, and then you just kind of threw it on top. You know what I mean?
It's a great call, Robert.
I agree, but if it were Mercedes, then wouldn't the dog be some kind of like poofy, manicured, miniature toy poodle or something?
The way she was pulling at this thing, you would have thought the dog was a German Shepherd.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Cocker Spaniel was like kind of like a Honda Civic, but the new ones that are sexy now.
Some
kind of high end
rescue, Cocker Spaniel. It's not a very comfortable, luxurious dog.
All right, fellas, easing into story number 2. Here's something I never thought I'd say either. Drew Brees is the bad guy. While talking to Daniel Roberts at Yahoo, Brees was asked about his thoughts on players kneeling again when the NFL season starts to display peaceful protests and showing unity against police violence. The future Hall of Famer fired back with, what turned out to be a quite unpopular stance.
Well, I will never agree with anybody disrespecting the flag of the United States of America or our country.
Both Brees' grandfathers fought in World War II, with his paternal grandfather fighting in the Battle of Okinawa. Brees eventually apologized, but not before Shannon Sharpe demanded he retire. Teammates ripped him, LeBron ripped him, and people of New Orleans protest started chanting, "Fuck Drew Brees." Francis, what's your take on this?
Dude, I just think that one of the most polarizing topics in modern history, the Colin Kaepernick kneeling, you're either on one side or the other. And I think that if you're a person like Drew Brees in this moment, you have to have the media savvy to answer that question as a deflection. You have to have a way of answering it without answering it.
Mm-hmm.
Because these guys, Drew Brees has been playing in the NFL for 15, 18 years.
Yeah.
He knows how to talk without saying anything. And is this the time to have a firm stance on this issue? I'm not saying I disagree with his right to speak his mind, to have an opinion, absolutely. But I just think that in this time, you gotta change the subject or offer up a softball or I don't know. Just find a way to get out of that question.
Right.
Deflect.
This is a trap door he should have saw coming, Robbie.
There's no win. There's no win. Either way.
Absolutely. The Harvard kid absolutely nailed it. Absolutely. You got to have the wherewithal, which makes us so surprising is he does.
Yeah.
He was one of the most liked guys in sports. I mean, just did everything. Let's not forget what he's done for the city, the charity to the coronavirus. He dropped, I think, like $5 million.
Yeah.
10,000 meals a day.
So, yeah, I mean, of all people, I just can't believe, and like you said, Matt, that you would ever be talking about Drew Brees in a negative way. I think now he knows he dropped the ball on it, and it's just not the time to, regardless of what your stance is. But Francis said it, you got to have the wherewithal to know. You just don't do it. You just don't do that right. It's not the time for that discussion right now.
Yeah.
To some regard it is, but you know what I mean.
It's kind of like that quote, what is it, the Batman, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself be the villain. It's like 2 weeks ago he was on Good Morning America and he made Hoda cry like on national television. $5 million, 10,000 meals a day. I mean, this is just unprecedented like philanthropy here. And then Shannon Sharpe's like this, you got to retire now. I mean, the pendulum swing. What have you done for me lately? It's amazing.
I think he really realized he dropped the ball big time, and he did put out an apology, but we'll see if it was too little, too late. Just can't believe it's Drew Brees. That was surprising.
The apology was like 2,000 words too. He was like, I know.
That was him too. Drew Brees doesn't need maybe he does, but he's very well spoken too, which is why it's all surprising that it came from him.
Yeah. I saw him walking the streets in New York. He was going to a charity event, and I asked him if I could take a picture with him, and he was the most gracious guy ever. And I was like, I've always been a Drew Brees fan. I will always be a Drew Brees fan. I know this was kind of a fuck up. But
who wouldn't want to take a picture with Matt Cohen?
That's a good point.
You
host of the morning jog.
Yeah.
Not even verified on Twitter.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, our final story, and if you thought it couldn't get any worse, Hawaiian shirts are under attack. Far-right extremists are wearing Hawaiian or Aloha print shirts at protests across the U.S., signaling support for a second civil war over stay-at-home orders and perceived threats to the Second Amendment. This is something that Francis blogged. I'll take a little dense snippet from his blog. It all started with the breakdancing movie from the 80s called Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo. This was a sequel and a bad one, and its goofy name lent itself to sequel shorthand nicely. From there, right when militia groups started referring to an upcoming Civil War II Electric Boogaloo, they then dropped the electric for convenience sake, and it was just Boogaloo. And just as young toddlers struggle with multi-syllable words, these guys stumbled when trying to sound that out. Some said Big Ilu, and others say Big Luau, and that is how we have got Hawaiian Shirts. Francis?
Well, the etymology of this is what makes me laugh so much. To get from Breakin' to Electric Boogaloo, which is a breakdancing sequel that was one of the worst movies ever, to right-wing militia guys wearing Hawaiian shirts under their homemade bulletproof vests that they bought from spy stores, or their paintball masks and their friggin', juggalo face paint. It's so crazy to connect those dots. The movie to Electric Boogaloo being a name for a sequel to the Civil War, Boogaloo, Big Luau, Big Igloo, Luau, Hawaiian Shirts. It makes me sad. I love Hawaiian Shirts.
Yeah.
I really do. And they're so fun. They're so frilly. Right. You feel breezy. Even thinking about wearing a Hawaiian shirt makes me feel cool on a summer night with a nice margarita in my hand. It's a good date shirt.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go out wearing a Hawaiian shirt now and all of a sudden have people think that I'm trying to shoot somebody. When all I'm really trying to do is drink a margarita or a Corona,
You're completely right, Francis. Hawaiian shirts are like the most approachable shirts, and we can't have them be the opposite here, Robbie.
Yeah. So
two
sad.
people that I never thought would be talked about in the negative light. Two things I never thought would be is Drew Brees and Hawaiian shirts. And welcome to 2020. Hawaiian shirts are a staple of a good time. That is, the guy with the Hawaiian shirt is the life of the party. It's a big responsibility. And now it's just, can you wear them now? I mean, I definitely have a few in the repertoire, and it's just a shame now that things have really gotten bad. And now a Hawaiian shirt is not a good thing to wear. So that troubles me more than anything. So what is it? Can you wear it now, or should you not be wearing it?
I think you can wear it, and I think it's our duty to wear it.
Okay.
I think it is our duty to wear it because we are going to take it back from these bad dudes.
Yeah. Don't let the terrorists win, dude.
Yeah,
100%.
we gotta rock our Hawaiians, and I think as long as people know that we're not carrying assault rifles or wearing those clear motocross goggles, that to avoid the dust getting in our eyes, that people will know we're not out looking to take down the government.
There you have it. There you have it, folks. Hawaiian shirts, keep wearing them. Thank you for participating, fellas. There's some dicey topics. Good work today. We'll be back here on Tuesday, same time and same place. Peace.